Yo, welcome to the show. Gather round, listen close. We got George, Brock, and J.A. bringing you the most NFL podcast. It's about to go down. Three amigos ready to run this town. Welcome to the Ball Studio, where the fun begins. George, Brock, and Jay talking NFL with their friends. So grab a drink, sit back, let's dive into the show. The Ball Studio, and we're ready to go. Let's go.
Oh, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another week of the Vault Studio podcast, brought to you by our great sponsors at the Sporting Globe, Chertside Park. Make sure we see you there Super Bowl day. 2 more Patreons. Sign up to the Patreon, and I'll be doing the halftime show at the Sporting Globe. They don't know I'm doing it, but I'll be doing it. I'll grab a mic and I'll do it
What are you doing, Brock?
for the shoe.
Oh, wow.
For the shoe.
Just don't break your coccyx bone in the snow.
Hey,
And then give us hourly updates on how broken your coccyx bone is.
let's get stuck into it. Let me
I'll tell you
introduce
after.
the co-host, Georgie Boy, J.A., Playoff Scotty. We're back again, boys.
Shout out Super Subs Scott.
Oh, he's just done the flex.
Well, I thought it was this chair.
No, it's a couch. It's a flexing
Yeah,
couch.
It's,
Yeah.
it's definitely the casting couch flex.
Certain amount of meat required to sit on this couch. And we both surpassed that goal.
I'm surprised that couch is holding
As-
up.
Amen to that.
As you both sit on your dainty little cushions to
a lot
protect
of-
your bums
It's a lot of mad men.
Have you sat on this couch?
for hours.
Yeah, how'd you go?
I raw dog it like a champion. And then,
Yeah,
and then I
right.
don't walk the next day like a real man.
Yeah, like a real man. Fair play. I like it.
Let's get stuck into it. Let's talk about a real man.
Divisional round. Shit, some good games this week, man.
Floppy
Some really-
Mahomes.
Really weird things happening this week.
Best week of football by far. Best week of football.
Yeah,
Can I
it
can
was.
I just say something off the top? A weird stat that I heard on the Rich Eisen show, actually.
Yeah,
Shout
yeah,
out.
yeah.
For all the games this week, the losing team outgained the winning team offensively. Every single game. The losing team outgained the winning team, and the losing team had multiple turnovers, and the winning team had 0 turnovers.
Yep.
Every single game.
Playoff football.
Story of
Football.
the week is turnovers.
Word of the week, definitely turnovers.
Yep.
The only team that didn't have any turnovers and outgained their opposition by 100 yards or more, which is the first time a team's lost a game. They're 49-0 in playoffs when a team has 0 turnovers and outgains another team by over 100 yards. And that was the Houston Texans, who lost 14-23 to the Chiefs.
The cheating fucking Chiefs. I'm just saying it off the top. Sorry.
I don't know if they're cheating. I feel like the refs have. It's become unbelievable.
See, I don't. They're just so good. They know the rules. They know what they need to do to get the calls.
Mate, when Troy Aikman, who's the poster boy of NFL for the past 30 years,
And quarterbacks.
Yeah.
and quarterbacks
He doesn't
starts
give a fuck
calling
anymore.
out bullshit on
Yeah.
the commentary team, you know things are getting too far now. He even said at one point, and I quote, "They will need to look at the rules for next year because this is becoming ridiculous."
Mhm.
And I think, and I know, Joy, I want to get to you because I actually do enjoy your take on this, but I just want to say one thing on it. I think at this point, the Chiefs are actually just tarnishing their own dynasty.
Well, it's not the Chiefs.
Well, the refs are
The refs are
tarnishing
tarnishing.
the Chiefs' own dynasty.
Yeah.
because-
Well, it is the Chiefs because they're all in on it. Like it's
I don't think they're in on it. I think just the refs. Are
no,
just
it's
fucking
100% rigged.
inept.
It's 100% rigged.
It is, but it may not be Andy Reid or Paddy Mahomes saying, "Hey, give us some calls."
No. It's the NFL
Yes,
telling the
but
refs.
it's not then
give
it's not
them
the
the call.
Chiefs' fault. Then,
Oh, they're definitely in on it.
personally,
You reckon the Chiefs are in on it.
100% they're in on it.
Then you're getting into scripted zone.
Look what Patty Mahomes is doing, running around the fucking, running around playing chicken with the defenders, and then sliding at the very last minute. He doesn't even get hit, and he gets a fucking
But
call.
like I said, he just knows what he needs to do to get that call.
He knows how to cheat.
He knows
Is
what
what
he
he
needs to
needs
do.
to
to
No,
get that call.
I agree with Brock. I think he knows the rules are flawed.
And so, what you're saying? You think that was the correct call?
No, I'm
No,
saying
I
that
don't
he
think
knows,
anyone
I think
thinks
he
it's
Well,
knows
the
how to do
NFL,
it.
the NFL thinks the NFL actually came out and said that was the correct call.
On
yes,
which one?
because there was
Both, both.
The NFL came out and said, yes, there was contact to the head by the letter of the rule, but it was so minuscule. And in fast time, I can see why the refs called it in fast time. But we need to have New York watch every play on 90 different angles.
Mhm.
They've got 25 seconds to stop the game and go, hey, we need to actually have another look at this as playoff football. And then call the right thing.
Review and pick the flag up.
No, but
Is
they
that what you're saying,
yes.
Scott? I 100% agree.
I
with
think if how many times have you seen a bang bang play and then you see another angle of that and you go, oh, they've got that wrong.
But they brought that in. They let people challenge pass interference. and they took it straight out. The owners wanted that. The owners went for pass interference. If the owners were smart, they would make every play call be challengeable.
Well, that's what. Yeah, it only lasted 1 year
Lasted 1 year.
because
They
the
failed. So
believe
many.
it, yeah, because believe it or not, the fucking players and the coaches may know the technical part of the rules
Yes.
more than the refs.
But that's what
They don't want the product to look worse.
That's what the owners wanted.
But the product looks worse when you've got Patrick Mahomes playing chicken and fake sliding.
Yeah,
and then,
that's right.
And then the two Texans linebackers fucking like decapitate each
Lay
other.
each other out, yeah.
And then they get the flag.
The worst one was the Will Anderson one in the second quarter, whatever it was. 'Cause it was like 3rd and 15. It gave them a first down and they scored.
And they scored. Yeah, it scored a touchdown.
Now, don't get me wrong. I don't want to take the reffing's bullshit, and I'm not going to say
Chiefs are still
I'm buying in.
good.
I'm not going to say I'm buying into it, George. But with each week, I'm getting closer. Like I'm getting closer to making that
It's
foil.
undeniable at this point.
I don't think they're cheating. I just think refs are inept. And if we look at the rest of the league, like the problem I had this week with it.
Why no other teams? Sorry, James. Why no other teams getting the calls at Mahomes?
Well, that's what I was about to say. You had Lamar tackled
Lamar gets
multiple times out
absolutely
of bounds.
drilled every single play.
Josh Allen got hit out of bounds on one play.
Goff got annihilated.
Absolutely obliterated on an interception return, which by the rule it actually
It's
is a
fine.
penalty because it's head to head. No, it's
Yeah.
by the rule it's not.
It's head to head, man.
It's a defenseless player on the field.
It doesn't matter.
No, but at that point, he's not a quarterback.
No,
anymore.
No,
This-
but
this is
it's
the
still
whole
a
thing.
defenseless player, and it's still a head-to-head.
It's a head
And
to
that's the same rule. When Mahomes runs with it, he technically the
He's a
rule is
runner.
he becomes
He's a
a runner.
runner.
Yeah.
And Lamar and Goff and Josh Allen
The
and
Lamar
Jaden
one-
Daniels all get labeled as a runner, but Mahomes doesn't seem to be labeled
That's
as a
right.
runner.
He's a quarterback still.
I don't
He gets
get it.
the quarterback treatment.
The
That's
Lamar
bullshit,
one,
bro.
that tackle did start 3 yards inside, and then he slid.
Still,
and it
still
was
very
a wet
hip
field.
Still very hip drop like that tackle. That should have been a hip drop tackle at a minimum on Lamar.
The rule
I
is
don't
that
think-
when in doubt,
yeah.
it's like I saw Colin Cowherd today. Everyone knows like baseball.
Now, fuck out. It is
The runner gets the right. Like the run. What is it when it's close? The runner gets the
runner gets the
The lane to the base.
the fair call.
the
Yeah.
per call. That's what it says in the rules.
right.
That if when in doubt, the quarterback gets the call. Right. So I've seen 6 players on the weekend. 2 of them were Mahomes, and the rest were other quarterbacks. Mahomes got the right, and no
one
other
else did.
quarterback did.
That's
Yeah.
what I'm
So
saying.
if everyone's getting it, then we're sitting here going, well, Lamar got one out of bounds, Allen got one, Goff got railed on. And you
And then
think,
that's a
how
rule.
different that game is when if they don't score a touchdown on that drive.
The
When,
Lions.
the Chiefs.
No, I'm talking about the Washington. If they don't take that back for a pick
Yeah, that's
six,
what I'm saying. The Lions when you got
yeah,
hit.
if that's
Yeah.
called a penalty, the touchdown doesn't stand.
That's right.
Maybe they hold into a field goal, maybe not.
And
but
also
it's a
maybe
different game.
maybe Goff doesn't get concussed and come back out. Looks like he's fucking little stars. in
Well,
his eyes
actually,
still.
they scored with big dog Teddy Bridgewater. So
Wow,
yeah,
he did a great.
What I'm
handoff
saying
defensively.
is,
we'll
if
talk
that-
about that game later. But
if
yeah,
that hit that Goff copped happened on fucking on
Mahomes.
Mahomes,
he would have been ejected.
mate, ejected, he wouldn't even be able to leave the stadium. He'd be arrested. He'd be on trial right now.
He would have been suspended.
You've gone
at the start of next
too
season.
far, but I agree 100% with what you're saying. Yeah, for sure. He'll probably get.
He'd be on assault charges.
He'd get
bro.
weeks.
Yeah.
He'd get weeks.
Yeah. Now, in saying that, the Texans didn't deserve to win this game, regardless of the
No,
penalties.
that's fair.
They did not play well enough. They couldn't pass protect, which we knew was the big issue for the Texans. We
Yeah.
were surprised they got over the line of the Chargers because
Yeah.
of it. They could not protect Stroud for long
But
enough.
what I'm saying is that you can say all these things.
Yeah.
And all these things that you're saying, I agree with.
Yeah.
Did they deserve to win? Probably not. A team that gets sacked 8 times and this and that and the other probably don't deserve to win the game. But at the end of the day, like that penalty, that roughing on Will Anderson Jr., that gave them an 15 yards of automatic first down. They drove the field and scored
Yep.
a touchdown.
Yep.
They only
Yeah.
won by 9 points.
Yeah,
you
no,
take
I
that
agree.
score off them, and it's a close game.
It's affecting the game
It
dramatically.
is affecting the game dramatically. And like to say that it's not is, well, you're just not watching the game.
Is it affecting the game the same way as a botched fumble on the opening kickoff?
Good one.
George, I think you'd ask you a direct question.
So the point I'm trying to make is that if it was 1 or 2 here and there that you could nitpick,
Yeah.
you could say whatever.
Which is what
If
every
it
other
wa-
team has.
If
Yeah.
it was every quarterback getting the same level of
Then you've got an
calls
issue with
across
the rule.
board,
Yeah.
then it's a rule issue.
Yeah.
But it's not. It's him getting the calls and nobody else.
Yeah.
And
It's disgusting as a fan of football.
I 100% agree. The Chiefs games have become unwatchable because at some point I
You're
was
waiting
watching it.
for it.
You're just waiting. Oh, yeah, I'm waiting for the call that's going to fuck the other team.
And D'Amico Ryan's nailed it in his press conference.
Oh, yeah.
And he was more tact than the players, which I don't care if the players, if they want to say it and cop a fine, go nuts. I don't care.
Yep.
D'Amico Ryan said, we knew it was us against everyone.
Yep.
And I mean everyone. I mean, like all the naysayers, the Chiefs, and everyone. Like he said it in a way where they couldn't be like,
couldn't
we're
fine
fining
No,
him.
they're finding him for sure.
Oh, if they find him, he should fight that to the fucking tooth.
Why? He
and
didn't say
nail,
anything
because I don't think they will, because he did not. He just said everyone, and he was like, "Oh no, I meant like all the world wanted us to lose."
Yeah, because he said the naysayers. He said he said everywhere. Didn't mention refs. Didn't.
I
mention
know, but
any
we
officiating.
all know what he meant, and
It wouldn't surprise me if the NFL
he'll get
fined.
fined for it.
But
And,
I'm-
and it's fair enough. It's good if the opposition coach comes out and says, "This is bullshit."
Yeah, and then
It's
we
good.
saw today. You posted today in our group chat that the last everyone, all the people getting upset, but when Mahomes gets a bad call. When the Bills beat him earlier in the season, he was like, good game, bro, while he was broing with Josh Allen after the game. But hey, maybe those offsides should be fucking called. As
Yeah,
well.
he's like,
So
oh my
like,
god,
last season.
offensive.
And you saw Allen's face turned around. And he was
Look at him
like,
like, what
"Are
the
you taking the?"
And you see,
Do you know
just
how
sort of
many
gave him a
times-
pat on the chest, like, yeah, all right, bro. See ya, and walked off. On
Do you know how many times I've lost to you where the refs fight
Fuck
me?
me,
Yeah, or
And
the
you're-
overtime.
Yeah, and now you're sitting there.
He got
Now you're sitting there whinging.
one dicey call, and he's like whinging
In a
on the
regular
sideline.
season
Yeah,
game.
and like, oh, this is unbelievable.
And then last year when they
bitch.
had the or was it this year when they had the illegal shift?
against the Ravens.
Yeah, it was last season, wasn't
No,
it?
it was this year, start of the season.
So it was
Start of
week
the
one,
season.
yeah.
So
He's like going nuts on the sideline.
Also, like one of the field goals, and the Texans missed it. Like he missed the kick, but the
There's
guy,
four of them in the neutral zone,
They
and
were
one of them jumped
offside.
offside.
one of them was offside by about 3 yards
Yeah.
when the ball was snapped. Now I'm not saying it didn't affect the kick because he didn't get there,
Yeah, but it's still
It's a penalty.
fucking
And it
well,
was-
it's
penalty.
5 yards.
and then
But
it would've-
you- well,
it would
once
have
he
been a
gets a
fourth.
re-kick.
It would have been a 4th and 1, and then
Exactly.
maybe D'Amico Ryan goes,
Fuck
"Hey,
it.
you know, we got him. We've all played football. Hard counts are a big part of the
Yeah.
game, right?
Yep.
Maybe he was like, "Hey, we fucking got him. Let's go for it."
Hard counts are also hard on the road too.
Yes,
So,
yeah, I agree. I'm not saying like I take if you take those calls away for the Chiefs, I still think they
they
win
still
this game.
probably win.
I think they're much better than the
I
Chiefs.
agree, but that's not the point.
No.
The point is, don't have the refs affecting the outcome so egregiously.
Yeah, that
That's what
happens
I'm
all the time.
saying.
And we said this 3 weeks ago when we said they're going to win the Super Bowl and something's going to go their
It's
way.
just- yeah,
We are one game into the Chiefs playoffs run, and we've already seen it. What 4 times in that game where it was easier call for any maybe 3 times.
Yeah, I
The
reckon
offside
3
and the
bad
2
calls. Yeah.
And like I was shocked when
What
when
about that
Mahomes ran with it and slowed down on the sideline
Yeah.
and they shoved him. I was shocked that if I'm the Texans player, I
Drill
am
him.
annihilating
Exactly.
him on the sideline.
yeah, but they can't
Annihilate.
because they're going to get flagged.
Then
Doesn't matter. Give up the 15 yards.
because you're going to give it up anyway. So I'd be telling Will
Yeah.
Anderson, hey, next time you're close, they're going to call
But
it
they
anyway.
didn't
Drill him.
They didn't draw the flag though. He tried to draw a fucking flag.
Oh,
Like,
I was shocked he didn't
how
get
is
it.
how is that a good look for the NFL?
I've seen a lot of people saying that should be like in soccer they have feigning when you
Yeah,
like,
100%. You can get a yellow card for diving.
Yeah,
100%.
They need to actually flag him and go, you know what, mate? That's bullshit.
That's diving.
Either run out of bounds or get the shit knocked
Well,
out
I
of you.
think
It's up
that
to you.
rule probably was going to change, and I don't think the Lawrence one was bad. So I think Lawrence was sliding early enough,
Yeah.
but I think at that point
They need to be
they're
more
going to be more
specific.
definitive with the slide,
They have to.
and it will affect Mahomes.
Or just say to the quarterbacks,
You're a
like,
runner.
if you're a runner, you are a runner. You have the same rules as a running back. Once you cross the line of scrimmage and you are a runner,
How many times?
slide early.
the
'cause you were
Jaden
gonna get
Daniels
hit.
one was real bad.
That's all. Yeah, I was going to mention how many times running backs like Daniels and Lamar are running out, and they're running out, and you can see them running for the sideline, and they still get drilled.
Yeah, and they never get it.
They're
Well,
gonna get
well,
nothing.
No. Well, Daniels got the play action or the RPO or whatever it was.
Oh, and got drilled, which
Yeah,
was
and
wrong
then got drilled.
because he was a runner.
He's a runner.
But he got hit head to head, so that's why they called it.
Oh,
So
I-
by the rule again, but yeah, again, like that, there's plenty that don't get called. I just don't get it. I'm at this point where my theory on it, and we all know I hate refs. We all know that. I'm an anti-ref guy.
I thought it was just GB.
I know all of it. I understand we need them,
Harassment.
but you look at you just look
Wow.
at the ineptitude for them to understand a rule.
Mm.
Like if I'm sitting on my couch and I know that I'm like, that's the rule is you
Yeah.
can't hit Goff in the head. We're all sitting there at the Sporting Globe Churnside Park, great sponsor,
Yep.
watching that Lions game. We were like, that's a penalty. You can't hit a guy like that. And did it affect the game? Yeah, it did, because Goff had to go in and get. Now I know they scored on that handoff, but he came back and looked not the same guy.
And also, like you said, it's a definite touchdown compared to a potential field goal.
Yes.
Or You put a little bit of pressure on Daniels. Who knows? You get a turnover and it's 0 points.
The Chiefs have won 4 Super Bowls in 3 years or 5 years, whatever it is. They don't need help.
4 and 5.
They're really good. Like they don't need. They have a chance. They can win legitimately. They're a fucking good football team. Like I think they are so talented. I think Chris Jones is potentially the best defensive player in football. That dude just steps it up a notch.
Yep.
Like they don't need it.
What I'm saying is
So
the
does Kelsey.
NFL are making sure of it.
Oh, I don't know.
And it's purely-
I'm getting closer to believing.
It's purely money driven. It's the whole Kelsey
They
thing.
make
It's the
so
Mahomes
much money
thing.
anyway.
It's a Swift thing.
I knew you were going to say Taylor Swift.
But they make
but it is though. How many times they show on the fucking broadcast, bro?
They were getting that before that. Like the
With-
Eagles
with
Super Bowl,
Swift.
Swift wasn't involved, and they still got the calls.
Yeah, but no, I'm saying
They've been getting
this
it for
year
years.
they're making sure of it because of that.
I don't know.
I don't know about that one.
Like Brady used to get a lot of this shit.
I was against the calls. I thought that the margins to beat the Chiefs are so small that a ticky-tacky call goes against you. That looks like the reason why you lose, but they just play so well.
Yeah.
I'm starting to see now that it's like blatantly some of the calls. It's just like, oh, come on, man, that's just a Mahomes call.
Yeah, and
You get a LeBron call, and
if Troy Aikman's saying it, literally, he is the poster boy for
Of
quarterbacks in the NFL.
protecting,
Like he is,
and Cowboys.
he is the saint.
Yeah, 'cause he's-
of the-
'cause he's-
well, he's even turning on the Cowboys
'cause
now,
his
which
career-
I love his arc.
His
He's
career
perfect.
finished early because of the concussions,
Yeah,
right?
he's now the fact that he was like when that one when he just dropped and the two defenders hit each other, he literally had to stop himself saying that's bullshit.
Yeah.
He stopped himself. He was
He
like,
did-
that's just outrageous.
He did a pretty good job of making it very clear.
Everyone
where
knew.
he stood.
But,
Yeah.
and then the worst thing was after they had obviously after the game, the commentators have a bit of a chat and stuff. Didn't mention it once. Did not mention
Yeah,
it.
because it comes up from
after.
above. We're talking about a
I-
multi-billion-dollar
Yeah,
company.
I swear to God, the NFL have radioing and gone, hey, Troy,
Shut the fuck up.
you've
Yeah.
said what you needed to say during the broadcast. You shut up about it
Hey.
now. It's not the reason they won.
Hey, your America beer is making you like $10,000 a year. That will be your only salary.
Your dog shit draft.
Yeah.
Let's get stuck onto the next game.
Just one thing. It's a shame that a playoff game that we don't even talk about the X's and O's and the great players and Kelsey and Jones and Stroud played well considering we spend 15 minutes talking about the refs,
But
which is shit.
And
It's shit.
And shout out to the Texans. I think they surprised a lot of us. In the
Yeah.
playoffs.
a lot of people.
They did. I thought they'd be knocked out by the Chargers comfortably last week. They've fought I can see, and defensively, I've been super impressed with them.
Yeah.
I think
Stingley is
Stingley's
elite.
maybe the best corner in football with
PS2.
PS2.
Yeah.
Like he's up there, and he was all pro. So
Yeah.
I just think they've got some really good guys, and it's a shame the season that way. But the Texans stay the course because
They'll stay the course.
I was a bit like, oh, is Stroud that good? He's that good.
Yeah.
No, Stroud is
And
good.
also, Nico Collins is a fucking jet.
Yep.
He's not talked about. He should be talked about in the same light as like those top like elite level.
And he's
guys.
still not 100% after the hammy.
No,
you
he's
can
not.
tell. You can
And-
tell he's a little bit off.
Mate, he's tough as nails. And again, they were a bit injured. They were a bit banged up. But the bottom line, the story of the game was they couldn't protect Stroud. They
Yep.
couldn't really get anything going
That's what
offensively. Couldn't generate turnovers. Like no ref stopped that pass from Mahomes when he's literally getting tackled, laying full ball, throws it 20 yards to Kelsey in the end
Yeah.
zone. Like a
That's
ref
a phenomenal throw.
Yeah, a ref didn't affect that. And that's the whole point. Like, we shouldn't be talking about the refs, but we are because it's relative. Like, it's
The refs put them in a position to win.
100%. And when my little clip system creates the clips, I guarantee you everyone that we talk about the refs, it will go to the top of like the trending.
Sorry,
chart.
Hey, what are you talking about? You make the clips. We don't have a program that makes
Hey,
clips.
No,
every
I'm-
single.
I'm going for a sponsorship. Opus Clips,
I
baby. You're the best.
I consume. I'm sure I speak for everyone in the room, but I consume a lot of NFL related content online, clips and podcasts
It's
and
only
and videos.
50% of the other content you like to experience online.
Also true. Every single one are all saying the same thing.
Yeah, they're all saying the same.
Yeah.
The only person who didn't was Colin Cowherd. It was like, oh, birds are fucking rules. Like, put your fucking glass on.
Oh,
guys.
shut
Fuck
up,
off,
Cowherd.
guys.
You fucking
Get Mahomes jizz out of your mouth.
He's just mad.
Or Joy Taylor.
Yeah, no.
Oh.
He knew what he was doing.
He
He's
didn't
playing
get there.
chess. He's
No,
playing chess.
he's just mad that there's been no backlash for it, and he's like, "Damn it!" Like Whitlock, he had a chance. He just knew it was wrong,
That peanut butter
And he's-
skin with those titties out.
and he's into dudes.
Let's
His
get,
internet history told us that.
let's get
He learned
started.
about algorithms the
Hey,
hard way.
I know we're going to talk about. We're going to preview.
This kid.
No, last
we're
one.
going to preview the game.
Yeah.
But
Give me the
like,
ball.
if
Cut
this
him off.
happens again next week,
I'll vomit.
I might spew up worse than Terry Wallace.
Someone from Buffalo will burn down the NFL.
Yeah.
That is a very proud fan base that will not accept losing that way.
I agree.
Let's get stuck into the next game. The Washington Commanders beat the Lions
Oh,
45-31.
Fucking ripper game.
I don't actually want to. I want to start purely, and as someone who's a teams in the NFC East, and I've said all year I'm wrapped for the Washington. They've escaped Dan Schneider. who was a genuine piece of shit.
I
as
like
a human.
the word escaped. That was
They
good.
did. They
Yeah, it's true,
escaped
it's
Dan.
true.
The NFL basically were like, Dan Schneider, you cannot run a team anymore. Sell the fucking team.
Yeah.
You're done. So they've escaped him, and then they're rewarded by drafting a quarterback in Jane Daniels. That, as I said, I've said it plenty of times. I thought they were just beating up on bad teams. No, with the amount of talent they have on that team,
They've definitely
offensively they're
overachieved.
very talented. But like Eckler, Brian Robinson. Obviously, Daniels. McLaurin last year was awful with bad quarterback play, and now all of a sudden, all these guys are just
killing it,
just
bro.
clicking, and it just comes down to the fact that, like, Dan Quinn at the Cowboys, yeah, he made some mistakes down the stretch, and I was sick of him by the end of it, and I'll admit that. But he can get a team up and going.
Yeah.
It's very clear that he knows how to get guys playing for him. He's very liked. He's very loved. I saw them in the locker room after, and everything he was saying, they were just hanging on every word he had to say.
And he sounded... that was the worst.
It was cringy as all hell.
Yeah.
But that's also the NFL. They're
Yeah.
all cringy when they get in those locker rooms. But I'm sure if you heard the Croydon Rangers after a 37 win over the Vikings, we'd be right up and about as well. But I'm just like...
Probably articulated
They
better.
are hanging on the words. And winning helps. Winning solves a lot of problems.
True.
But guys like Bobby Wagner that are, in the twilight of their career, that are just balls out playing for him. Dorrance Armstrong, Tyler Biadasz, who the Cowboys just
Tyler
flicked
Biadasz,
aside
yeah.
for they signed for almost no money.
Trey Flowers is
They-
playing well.
Yeah, they could have
Oh,
easily...
Trey Flowers. What's his name? Flowers Jr.? Deontay?
Dante, the third overall pick, who was at the Cowboys last year as well.
Yeah. He went
They
with Dan
signed
Quinn.
for
Yeah.
next to nothing, and these guys are just playing. They're just playing hard. Like, there is something in...
Belief is a beautiful thing, man.
Thank you. Belief it's amazing. And I'm really proud for Washington. I shouldn't be as a Cowboys fan, but I'm really
shattered.
proud for them.
I'm shattered for the Lions. I'm absolutely shattered.
It's gut-wrenching.
I was so all year getting behind him. This is...
Did you see Dan Campbell? at the press
yeah,
conference?
I almost cried when I listened to it.
Like,
And I'm don't even know him from a bar of soap. And he was just like...
Fancy a grown man and a coach crying at the
But
press
he's
conference like that.
genuine. He's
just-
fucking genuine. He's
He's
unreal.
Hold
He
it
just
together, bro. Come on,
cares.
you're a
He
fucking
just-
No,
grown
he
man.
didn't cry. He just was like...
He was choked
He
up.
was like, it hurt.
Yeah.
And it does hurt when you lose in any aspect of
Oh,
your
well,
life.
how many... Like, on the smaller scale possible. But, like, we've lost, 3 grand finals in a row?
It
or
always
something?
hurts. Yeah.
That hurts, yeah.
It sits in your gut.
The pressure that they were on for that city to do something that's never been done before, and everyone's saying it's this year, and then you come short in a game, you're a 9.5 point favorite.
Yeah.
Man, that's gut wrenching.
And it was all turnovers.
It was.
It was all the turnovers. Like, you just can't turn the ball over 5 times. They got back in the game late, and then Jameson Williams throws that. Like, I don't mind the play. Like, it's...
Yeah, I'm the same.
I didn't mind the play call. Don't let Jameson Williams... He's clearly not mentally equipped enough to be like, I just don't throw this.
It's
Like,
a big gamble getting him to throw the ball.
Very good from you, Scotty. Like, he's clearly not mentally equipped enough. Like, get Amon-Ra St. Brown to throw it.
Yeah.
And then, because if that's Amon-Ra St. Brown, he's like, nah, not open. I'm just going to run and get back to the line.
But I think the part of you'd expect Amon-Ra St. Brown to throw it, so then you run it. But you've got one read and then out of bounds.
And also, you were torching them at that point. Like that, Washington.
They had them on the
going.
ropes. Yeah,
They had got
the
going.
momentum.
All the pressure was on Washington at that point. It
Yeah.
was like, shit, they're rallying now. We've scored 3 points in the second half. These guys are coming.
Yep.
And then you blow it with that play.
Yeah, it was a real turning point. It really
It
was.
was. The game was
Especially-
over.
And putting your defense on the back heel like that, you've got so many starters out. You've got so many guys out. What are you doing?
I
man?
worked out 7 starters were missing for the Lions.
Bonkers.
It's hard to come back
7
from.
starters.
what I mean.
People don't realize there's 11
It's
on the
hard.
field.
Yeah.
That's half your team,
It's-
including Aiden Hutchinson, which I know we fucking carry on about. He's like, he finished the season like 16th in sacks for the year.
Played 4 games?
6 games, I think
6
it was.
games, yeah.
It's 7.5
Yeah,
sacks
just-
after 6 games. Like,
Yeah,
he was
can't-
dominating. When you lose that sort of guy on your team,
As a team, to lose a turnover battle that badly is one thing, but then to do it with you when your defense is so like
Yes.
undermanned as well,
Yeah.
you're really shooting yourself in the foot. The story of the weekend was
turnovers.
turnovers, but like teams didn't really win the game. It was the other team losing the fucking game.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's what happened.
100% it was.
Probably
That's what
apart from
happened.
the Bills Ravens. That was just an
No,
Again, we'll talk about it later, but a drop catch cost them the game in the end.
True.
That's execution.
Yeah.
Like, and it's we'll talk about that. But I don't know. Call me soft, but I just felt I was gutted for the Lions. I really
Absolutely.
felt it.
I
for
was, yeah.
Hutchinson finished 36 for sacks. He had played 5 games.
5 games. There you go.
He had 7.5 sacks.
And what
Yeah.
was his? I think at one point he was leading the pressures by about 35.
Yeah. Yeah.
He had something like 60 pressures.
It
in
was
5
double the
games.
amount of the next person.
Like,
I remember that.
It's insane. Like, he was coasting his way Defensive Player of the Year.
Yeah.
And that's huge. And then they didn't have Carlton Davis didn't play, who I know he's not the best corner in the world,
I
but
don't
he's, still,
rate him.
he's a starting corner on any team in the NFL.
Who's the boy that broke his arm at the start in mid game?
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, Calzoni.
Yeah,
Did he break his arm?
Yeah, he was on IR for that. Yeah.
Yeah.
What was it, the start of this game or start of the season?
start of the season.
Yeah, he broke
Yeah.
that. He came back.
Yeah,
he came back. Yeah.
It's just so many things stacked against
We know
him.
that his name's not Calzoni. It's just an inside joke.
Anzalone.
No, we're calling him Calzoni.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like OJ Mayo.
Shout
You
out.
know, the ex-Patriots coach, OJ Mayo.
Bucks great.
Bucks great. I don't know. I just felt bad for him. But you know what? Shout out to the Commanders. They went in and went, you know what? Like that fourth down play, they just kept going for it on fourth down and going, hey, Jaden, have the ball. Make a play.
On the Commanders. Last year they won 4 fucking games.
Yeah.
They picked second,
They're an NFC Championship game.
and they're in the NFC Championship game in 12 fucking months. Unbelievable turnaround.
Yeah, it's awesome.
This is what I mean when I say you got to get the fucking quarterback right, because it instantly changes your entire franchise. The Bengals did it with Burrow. Like, it just, you can just flick the switch completely like that if you
I
get the
feel like
quarterback
from
right.
all the quarterbacks from last draft, they all hit.
I don't think it was just the quarterback
so
as well, though. It's the coaching stuff. It's Dan
100%.
It's Cliff Kingsbury.
Cliff
If you
has
look at
played
Cliff's-
a game.
like, if you look at Kingsbury's fucking history with quarterbacks, he gets every quarterback he has looks like an absolute star.
I 100%
He had
agree.
Baker in college as a true walk-on freshman,
Yeah, it's true.
as a Heisman candidate.
He won the Heisman.
Not in his freshman year.
Oh, and he's
Not in his freshman
Yeah,
year. He won
Cliff
it
went
two-
to Arizona and then he got a new coach, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
No, Cliff stayed in Texas Tech.
Yeah, I'm
And
pretty sure he
Baker
won.
left.
Right.
Oh,
What you're
that's
saying is
right,
right,
that's
Brock.
right.
But if
Kyler Murray. He worked with Kyler Murray.
if you've got
Then
that
Kyler
coaching
Murray,
staff, but
yeah.
you don't have Jaden Daniels, they're not as successful as what they are. That's the point I'm making. Like, Jaden Daniels is the
What
reason.
kind of
Jaden-
relationship is it?
Symbiotic.
Symbiotic.
Yes.
No, it is definitely Jaden Daniels, and he's an absolute star, and I love him. I do love Jaden Daniels. He reminds me a lot of the young Lamar Jackson.
Very, very.
Well, hey, he broke the record for most rushing yards in a season by a quarterback this year.
No, he broke it for Washington.
Oh, no. With the playoff games, he broke it. Lamar didn't have
That
playoff
doesn't- that
games.
doesn't count.
I agree, but he's still looks successful.
Lamar only played 10 games that year.
All right, relax.
Oh, no one. Rock, calm down about Lamar.
You know what? Talk about
We'll
Lamar
talk about
Jackson,
Lamar
Josh Allen?
later.
Here we go.
I was at their first game.
Where?
I was there.
Yeah, cool.
Anyway, shout out to Washington.
Pittman threw 5 picks.
Shout out to Washington. Anyone that had them on their bingo card, they're going to make the championship game is a fucking
Or
liar.
playoffs.
Is a
Let's be
fucking,
honest.
Yeah, fair.
I think I had him up there.
And if you know, I think now what the final point I wanted to make on Washington is that what this has done now is it's made them a destination club.
It's reset the franchise.
Players will want to go and play with Daniels. They will want to go and play
Yeah,
for Dan
I
Quinn.
was saying that
I
last
think
week.
they're a year
Yeah,
away from that. I think they're a
they
year
still-
away
they
from
still have
being
to
that
do it.
club.
They still have to do it to be that destination club, but it's enticing.
Yeah.
Magic Johnson's your owner.
You
Why
got,
wouldn't you want to go play for
You're
Magic?
a free agent tackle
you got
or
guys
free
like,
agent wide receiver.
you
You
got guys
want
like
to go
Zach
play with
Ertz scoring touchdowns. I thought his
Yeah.
career was dead 2 years
Yeah,
ago.
No shit. Yeah.
Like, he's had 800 yards and 8 touchdowns this year.
Yeah.
Like, they're just finding a way to rejuvenate careers at Washington, and that's Dan Quinn. Because when he first came to the Cowboys, the defense was terrible on paper, and one thing they did was they played hard and they pinned the ears back and they had a red hot crowd.
It was still somewhat terrible. They were ranked 17th this year.
So their
them-
defense was statistically like one of the worst in the league.
Yeah, it was.
I think they were. Yeah, I
They were-
think Brock's
they were
right.
middle pack
middle of the
defense.
pack.
mid-tier with tin cans running around.
But a top 5 offense, which is good enough. If you've got a mid-tier defense and you've got a top 5 offense, you're fucking.
And you
you're
play
good
your
enough.
best game, the Lions play their worst. Anything can
And that's
happen.
what it was. That game was Washington playing as best as they possibly could on the day.
Yep.
And the Lions playing as bad
Hey,
as they possibly
And
could.
not taking
don't turn the
anything
fucking
away.
Ball over 5 times.
Yeah.
And you won't fucking lose.
That pick six that changed that. That was it. That was the game. That was
Yep.
the game from there. What we got next, Brocky boy?
We're Rams
Oh, here
22
we go.
to the Philadelphia Eagles 28.
Speaking about good quarterback play, we won't mention Jalen Hurts in this one.
Yeah, Matt Stafford played a great game. at
Matt Stafford had a
quarterback.
hell of a game. In the snow, he was unbelievable.
Mate.
He was really good.
Can I ask you, were you shocked they didn't score on that last drive?
As I said in the chat, I had faith in the defense.
Yeah.
The defense
you
has
did,
stepped
you
up
did.
all year. We've stepped up all year in big moments, and we did it again.
Yeah.
It's when you do it once, it's a fluke. When you do it all the time, you're just good.
Yeah, that's fair. That's very fair.
Sometimes you go out trying to catch a fluke, and that's where you catch. Sometimes you don't catch a fluke.
Okay.
What?
I'll think about that one later.
Are you having a stroke right now, Brock, or what's going
This
on?
guy, he gets a trickle of something and
We'll,
he's swinging from
we'll
the
speak about that
fences.
post show. You're right.
This boy
But
out
yeah,
till
if you do it once or
out till
twice,
7 a.m.
like-
Saturday night doing God knows what. that was doing.
Jalen Carter, back to the game. Jalen Carter, like if
Brock-
he did it once,
Brock was
Blast.
playing a game and he won twice.
shout out to Brock.
Put me on blast.
Shout out to Brock. Hey, I've already said I'm proud of him. I don't know what else I can do.
I continue talking
I'm-
about
I'm
your shit
proud.
out of the Eagles.
You're prouder?
I'm prouder than you
We're
are.
fighting later to see who's
Fine,
prouder.
you're prouder. I don't care.
Yeah, Jalen Carter's been the best tackle in the league all year. It's no
100%.
surprise that he's affecting games, that he's affecting playoff games.
The Rams did a decent job in nullifying him
They doubled.
for points of the
Yeah,
game.
they had to double team him
Yeah.
all the time.
Yeah,
there
that's
was something like there
Yeah.
was 11 or 15 snaps where they didn't double team him, and he had 2 sacks and like 9 pressures
Yeah.
before him.
Yeah.
It's like-
And that
That's-
sack,
that- that's-
the sack
that's
on third
dominating.
down that ended the game, that essentially ended the
Yeah.
game.
yeah,
That was a massive play. That was all him.
It was pretty easy when he was unblocked. The center blocked
No,
the
he
wrong
didn't.
guy.
No, he didn't. He swum the center.
No, he
He
didn't.
wasn't
The
unblocked.
center-
No. If you watch the replay, he swum the center, and he did the same move again and swum the
George,
center.
I think
on
you need to
fourth
watch
down.
that play.
I've watched it 6 times.
he was expecting the guard to
I
come.
may or may
Yeah,
not have.
yeah.
I may or may not have pleasured myself to that.
He was definitely unblocked.
The guard absolutely sold out the center on that play.
Yeah,
He
yep.
sold it. But again, he still did it.
Yeah.
I have one question, right? Because Washington, I think, they've shown during the year they can score points on the Eagles, and they're a high-powered offense. There has to be some concern around Jalen Hurts. I know last week with the podcast that never happened.
No, I'm not concerned.
You're
at
not
all.
concerned with Jalen
No,
Hurts.
I'm not concerned because he's doing what he needs
But
to do
what has he?
within the team.
How has
He's-
he backed that up though? How is he? How?
You know how? You know how? By not turning the ball over.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
he
fair.
takes-
That's fair.
He takes what the defense
Well,
gives.
that's easy
He's
when he
playing-
only throws it 2
That's
yards.
fine. That's fine. But that's all he needs to do. That's
Okay.
the point I'm making. You're sitting there comparing him to Drew Brees or comparing him to Peyton Manning or Tom Brady. That's not what he is. He is not. He's a power running quarterback who throws the ball off play action and boots when he needs to.
But now he's dinged up.
Okay, George. Let me put it this way. Okay, you make the play. You make the Super Bowl. You play Kansas City. In
Hang
New
on.
Orleans.
Oh.
The Bills.
still
So
got-
can, can we say Buffalo? Let's just do
Still
a
got-
real
again. No, 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 no.
One week at a time. We still got to make the Super
Okay,
Bowl. Like
no, no,
Washington
no,
are
no,
a good
let
team.
Me, let me just talk about this right now, George.
Please.
Answer the question. You go in New Orleans playing the Super Bowl. Doesn't matter who you play. It's going to be in a dome. The balls have to be thrown. You can't run the
It
ball.
does- but that's what I'm saying. Like, it doesn't have to be thrown.
I think it will at some point.
Okay, but you've been saying that all year, and it still
Yeah,
hasn't.
because the Eagles have had a tin can run in the playoffs. They
Oh,
got the
You-
second team.
James,
Packers.
if you saying that makes you feel better, that's
No,
okay.
But it's true.
It's
you guys
not
have had
true,
you guys have
because
had a
we've-
God run
because
you haven't
we've-
had to play Minnesota or the Lions now.
But that's not
You
that's
had
not
you
the
had
Eagles' fault.
You had the
That's not the Eagles'
Packers with
fault.
7th string receivers and
It's not the
backup
Eagles'
offensive
fault.
linemen. I'm not
They've
saying it's your
they've
fault.
beaten who's been put in front of them.
But you haven't done it convincingly, and you haven't had good quarterback play.
You can't say Jalen Hurts has played well.
No, I haven't said he's played well. In fact, last week on the podcast, it never happened. I
Yes.
said he's an average quarterback who had a bad game. I don't think that he had a bad game on the weekend.
I thought he was awful.
Well, that's okay. You can think that.
I said,
But-
the 2 wins this week
But
have made me more. And I have said for the past 2 months
You
the
can think
Eagles
that,
are a chance
but
to win the Super Bowl.
what he's doing is he's working within the framework of the offense, within the framework of his skill set, in his abilities. He's not trying to do too much.
Hmm.
And as a result of that, he's protecting the ball and he's protecting the offense, and as a result, protecting
I
the
agree
team.
with you on the
I'll
turnovers.
put it-
He hasn't
I'll put
turned
it
the
this
ball
way.
over.
He turn-
Well, he did fumble on the weekend. It could have easily been a turnover, but the ball just bounced back. And
Yeah.
Okay.
and that's life. That happens.
That's life. That's
That
life.
happens.
That's
That's
football.
just
whatever.
part of it. Yeah.
If
So-
the Eagles find themselves in a shootout, are you confident that you can win in a shootout?
I'm telling you that we're not going to be in a shootout because our defense is good enough.
But in one game they're not.
Washington scored 38 points on you last time they played.
Man.
And
Hurts
they
Hurts
got
was-
on a run.
Hurts got
Hurts
concussed.
didn't play, yeah.
Got
So Hurts
concussed
saved
within
himself from
four,
having to do
within
something.
4 minutes. Like his last 12 starts, he's 12-0.
Yeah.
And hasn't turned the ball over and has thrown or like 30 TDs
But
total.
you still haven't. Are you confident? Take your defense aside. You're in a shootout.
Let's just say you've
You've been out schemed on defense. You're
you're
not
in a shootout.
dominating. You're in a
Cliff
shootout.
Kingsbury's
Are
toweling
you?
you up.
Are you confident in Hurts?
We're not a shootout team. No.
Yeah, so you're not confident.
So you're not confident
we're
in
not,
Hurts?
but we're not a shootout. But I've been saying that all year. We're not a shootout team.
You don't think it will happen, but if it did, you'd be stressed, yeah?
I've been saying for 6 weeks we're not a shootout team. We're a power running offense with a dominant defense. It's going to keep the other team from scoring
And not turn
keep
the ball over.
ball in out, keep the
Yeah.
ball, keep the clock, keep control of the game, and not turn the ball over.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd say it's fair.
That with the amount of talent that we have on offense,
Yep.
with our offensive line, with our
The
backs,
offensive line's so good.
with our backs, like that alone, just not turning the ball over and executing our game plan is enough to win games.
And shout out to Saquon
And it has
Barkley.
been
He was
all year.
outstanding.
Yeah,
Saquon
Barkley
Barkley
was
was
so good.
the
We don't
only
need-
guy
we
who
don't
looked like he
need-
didn't fall over.
We don't need Jalen Hurts to throw for 300
No,
yards and 4 touchdowns.
You haven't
We
needed
don't.
that because your strength of schedule this year was 21st.
I'm not talking about the strength of schedule. I'm just
No, but
saying
that's the teams they've played.
if
So they didn't have to do it this year.
we're at the pointy end of the season now,
Right.
and big guys don't get smaller, so you're playing the right football for this time of year. But I'm just saying, if you get out schemed on defense, so you can't use defense, you strengthen your defense as your this is how we got this far.
Right.
Are you confident that Jalen Hurts can pass for 280 and 3 tutties in a game and win the game for you?
No, because that's not who he is as a quarterback.
So you say in that situation, you're probably going to lose.
That was what
No,
all my first question was.
We're not a shootout team.
Yeah. So
We're
Yeah.
not a shootout team.
yeah, that's fair.
We're
that's
not.
fair.
But we haven't been all year. That hasn't been the blueprint for us to win games the whole year.
No, that's fair. No, and then, you know what? The history tells us that you don't need to be. But that's my concern. And I've said to you, I think the Eagles are really, really good.
They are good.
I think the only issue with the Eagles is Jalen Hurts.
But you
And
know
then,
what?
like he took what about that play call at the end when you just needed to run the ball and they ran the
Oh,
a
bootleg.
little
bootleg.
bootleg left and then it slipped over. Like, what was that?
Well, he didn't slip over. He literally got the ball and was
Kobe
like,
Turner comes unblocked.
I'm dead.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just going down here.
He gave
Because
up.
it was supposed to be like a
Again-
little bootleg left and then a throw out to
Which,
like AJ.
which
but
again,
like,
I can put my silver lining hat on here and go, smart by Jalen Hurts.
Yeah.
Don't try and make a guy miss
yeah.
and then fumble the ball.
Fumble
Just
the
be like,
ball,
hey, I'm
yeah.
in trouble. I'm going down.
Yeah.
I'll back my defense to win. Which in the end of the day, they did stop them and they did win. And I thought the Rams were rolling. I'm like, they're going to win.
They had the
this.
momentum to.
And then what killed them? Their best guard, Dotson. He
Yes.
false started, and that
Yes.
set them back. That fifth, and that was. And again, that's
Second and
that's not
15
the
or
Eagles'
second and
fault.
10.
That is a team who's turned it over 3 times during the game, and then when the game's on
That's right.
the line, couldn't execute.
And that
what they needed
massive
to.
so that's
punch
that's-
out on Curran Williams.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's Alan Carter. Yeah, that's right.
Like, how far did that ball go?
Yeah, yeah.
So-
Like, that was basically a fucking punt.
He beat it like Tyreek Hill with his old college girlfriend.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
Wow. That's my final point I want to make on the Eagles.
She didn't even have it that
is
bad.
that like that's one thing that people need to understand
Same
that
functionary.
we as a team
Yeah.
we are not going to lose the game. We're going to execute. We're not going to get penalized. We're not going to fumble. We're not going to false start. We're not going to do all these stupid things.
Very fair.
We are going to play solid, sound football. We're going to execute, and we're not going to lose the game. If you are going to win, you are going to have to beat us.
Yeah.
I would just add
That
on
is
to that.
why.
Flip that.
I think 3 out of the
No, I
4
agree.
teams play the same way, but the other 2 in the AFC have elite quarterback play. And I think if it comes down to it, that's what's lacking for the Eagles.
I don't disagree. Hurts is not as good as Allen or Mahomes.
Yeah.
That I 100% agree.
I would argue that, and this is a bit off topic, but I would say Hurts is the worst quarterback in the playoffs this year. I don't think there.
Left
No, total. I don't think there's a quarterback that's played worse than him in the playoffs.
Statistically, yes. You're
yeah,
probably
okay,
right.
statistically fine,
Yeah.
but you like
But he's
it's,
still winning.
like
Yeah.
playoff wins especially are more than the box score,
Yeah. I know.
right? That
It's why quarterbacks get rated on wins and losses in Super Bowls and
Yeah.
playoff wins. Like
it's, a lot,
why
it's
they
more
do
than
it.
just the box score, because if you compare box
Because the
scores,
quarterbacks are the
'cause if you
main
just go
driving
by
force
box-
to win.
if you just go by box scores, like Josh Allen and Jalen Hurts had the same game.
Yeah, that's
If
fair.
you go by box scores,
Yeah.
but clearly they didn't, because Josh Allen played much better than what Hurts did.
yeah.
Right? To get what I'm trying to say, it's not just box scores.
No,
Like that first TD run that he broke out on that option.
Yeah, it was a great
and
play.
scored. That was a
Hurts.
great play.
Yeah.
That kickstarted everything.
Yeah.
Like, that's what I'm trying to say. He's not that guy that's just going to stand in the pocket and throw for 350 yards. Get it out of your heads, boys.
No. I'm just,
It's not what he's there for.
We're just saying, do you feel comfortable
If
if
need
the
be.
game went
We're
that
not
way?
a shootout team.
No, but
we
if
haven't
need be,
been.
So you're not comfortable if it happens.
We're
though.
not a shootout
So
team.
you're not comfortable. So you're not comfortable. If it becomes a shootout, you're not comfortable.
Have I not said we're not
No.
a shootout team like 15
No,
times?
No, say you're not comfortable.
You're not saying. You're just saying the same thing.
Say in a shootout, you're not comfortable.
No, I'm not comfortable in a
There we
shootout.
go.
That's all we wanted to hear.
But what I am comfortable in,
Hey,
That
that's
only
growth.
took 15 minutes of asking the
Growth.
same
No, no, no,
question.
but what I am comfortable is in beating the Commanders on the weekend.
Oh, I think so
Oh,
too.
Yes.
Nah, I'm
And-
finding it hard to.
And I agree with you that the brand of football that you're playing with a strong defense that's suffocating and an elite O-line and Saquon probably the best postseason we've ever seen from a running back
At home,
is enough. But
Hey,
it's just a
divisional
glare-
games or coin flip.
It's just a
Always a coin flip. Divisional game.
not
No,
this.
that's your words.
That's your
That's your words. Divisional games, including playoffs,
Coin
are a
flip.
coin flip.
nah,
Coin flip.
not this.
Hey, listen, easy, calm down.
this is not
He
a.
said why.
Yeah,
This is this. I
Hey,
Put it this way.
we'll preview the game Sunday night.
I'll
but
be
yeah.
more disappointed in losing to the Commanders than I would have been losing to the Rams.
Yeah, that's fair.
the Rams played pretty well.
Yeah, no, but that,
We've spoken about the Eagles a lot. The Rams had every opportunity to win this game and shit the bed every single time they had a chance to win.
I agree.
They did. They really shit the bed.
Yeah. They honestly were the
All the teams that lost shit the bed to lose.
I
All
agree.
the teams that lost shit the bed.
I agree.
maybe not Houston.
Except for the Texans.
Yeah.
The refs obviously shit the bed for them.
Nah, like you
Rest
can't
took a
you
shit
can't have
on
your
that
quarterback getting sacked 8 times like
No,
and
100%.
expect to win a game. Like,
100%.
that's shitting the bed. Like
Yeah,
protect
I
the
agree.
fucking guy.
Get rid of the ball quicker. If your O-line can't block, get rid of it quicker.
Well,
Simple
that's
as
fair
that.
too. That's
Yeah.
fair.
All right. There's a way to scheme pass protection. Ask
Let-
Tom Brady. Did it for years.
True.
Let's get stuck on the
Decades.
next game, boys.
All right, the last. Oh, yeah,
Last
it's all
game.
you, baby. Hey,
Game of the year.
well, can I just say? And I was
Game of the year.
This was fantastic to watch.
this. Oh, what do we got?
I just want to speak to him.
Who are you calling in?
Campy, how are you, mate?
Jones. Good, you?
Whoa!
Well, here
shout
we
out to
go.
Kempy
The
live.
the Patreon superstar, Lockie Kemp. I just want to give him 5 minutes.
5 minutes.
No, you get 39 seconds.
Got 39 seconds, mate. It's what you want to say. Rub it in my face. I know
Hit
you've
us,
been waiting
Campy.
for it.
You know what? I'm just going to be humble. It was a fantastic game to watch, but please, Bills in Buffalo, easy win. Kidding yourself. Kidding yourself.
Oh.
What do they say?
Mind you,
Sometimes people
mind you.
fluke themselves into the non-fluking.
mind you, I reckon if there's 2 more series in that game, the Ravens win it.
Yeah, but there wasn't.
There was not. But
If-
Mark Andrews
If
fucked up
Yeah.
twice.
Mark
Ifs and
Andrews
buts.
found a way to fuck a whole football
He
team.
fucked
Yeah,
the whole
that's a
football
great
team.
video.
Twice.
Hey,
No, it was a good game. It was a
Kempy,
good
can
game.
you just all we want the whole world,
Please.
the pressure of the world is on the Bills' shoulders, and by the Bills I mean on Josh Allen's
Yeah.
shoulders. The most
Yep.
handsome, talented, large,
Absolute
white
gunslinger.
gunslinging motherfucker. Everyone is it?
hot
There is
hot
not a,
wife.
there is not a team. There is not a person in the
Hey, that's a
world.
thing. That's important to mention.
He's got a hot wire. He's got a hot wire.
Yeah, that's
And you know what he'll
important.
be doing the night before the game? He'll be like, "Sorry, Dal,
Sorry, Dal.
football.
You go sleep in
Sure.
the spare room.
After I win a Super Bowl, you do whatever you want,
Oh,
whatever."
I'd leave my wife for Josh Allen any day of the week.
Me too. Me too. I wouldn't even think about it.
no
Hey,
arguments here.
Any
Kempy.
day. I'll get her in here and say that in front of her as well.
You would,
Ash is a lovely lady.
would you let her go in the cut
Yeah.
corner?
Yeah,
We're getting way off.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, cut corner Kempy, they call him. Hey,
She can look, but she can't touch stuff.
Wow. I fucking love it.
hey, Kempy, shout out to you, mate. Go Bills.
That's
Go
absolutely.
Bills.
Go Bills.
Love
Love
you,
you,
buddy.
Love you, buddy.
Shout out to Kempy. And just quiet on Kempy, one of our biggest fans.
Yep.
One of the first people to message us last week when the podcast went up without sound.
Yeah, that was. Yeah,
That's
shout
how
out
you-
to Kempy.
And
That's how I
absolute
know-
ripper bloke too. We
I-
played football with him, obviously.
I know who our 5 realist fans are because approximately 7 minutes after the podcast went up, they all messaged going, "Dude, no sound."
No sound.
No, shout out. Like I said, this game, it kind of finished. Like, if I had have told you this game, the anticipation, the hype, that it would end with one of the surest hands in the league dropping a pass to tie a game, and potentially go to overtime or make the Bills score. If I told you that's how it ended, you'd be like, "Nah, no way. It ends a different way. It can't end like that."
You feel sorry for Andrews now.
Andrew's one
You
of
just-
the
And
biggest
play
Ravens
before,
guy going around.
the series before where
He
it's
fumbled.
16 yards and he makes a little shimmy, ball gets punched out, bounces right back to the
Bills.
safety that
Yeah.
punched it out. It's when it's not your day, it's not your day.
He's a real soul of the earth kind of guy too. He's a real good guy.
Oh, he's a legend.
oh,
He was-
yeah.
He was dead in the water. Everyone was like, cut him after week 3 or 4, and he's had a great season. Like,
Absolutely.
I want to say something about Lamar. His press conference after
Yeah, it was very good.
the maturity of that guy to be like, you know what? It wasn't Mark's fault. We turned the ball over 3 times. It cost us the game, and he was almost upset. He's like, if we want to win a Super Bowl, we have to stop doing this shit.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like, he's like, I'm sorry for swearing. Like he's in the old, the country boy tone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm sorry, but we fucked it up.
He's
we
not
had a
wrong, though.
chance.
He's not wrong.
100% right.
And that's
And
good
he
growth
knows.
from him. That's really
100%,
he's an absolute leader. And this year he's shown it from
Thank you.
When-
It's such a growth.
when they celebrated a win on the plane. And he's like, we haven't done shit.
Yeah, Marlon Humphries he goes
Yeah.
live on the.
We
plane
haven't done
every time.
shit
Yeah.
yet. This is a regular season. It means nothing.
Yeah. And I respect that. And I said, both quarterbacks, like if you look at, again, we look at the box score, Lamar played a hell of a lot better than Josh Allen. But you watch the game, if
Well, in
there's-
fairness, the Bills were in a situation where they had to have 6 to 8 minute drives and bleed the clock.
and they did what they had to do.
Yeah.
That's right.
So
What do we
if it
think
was
of the field goal call at the end?
can I have this?
Yeah.
Because
Scotty, take the
I
floor,
was,
big boy. You were livid.
you have Josh
And you were wrong. We
fucking MVP
were
Allen.
both right.
You got Josh MVP Allen on a 4th and 2 on your 2. You give the best football player in the league the fucking ball, and you live and die by that.
100% agree.
You live and die. It's a 2-score game. It doesn't matter. The game is done at that point.
100%
No
agree.
one's getting an onside kick. You
He's
give
right.
them, if you fail, your defense has played well enough up to that point that you're confident they needed a touchdown anyway, that you're confident that you give them the junkyards up until the 30-yard line, the bolts and nuts all tighten up, you make it a game there, and then if they score a touchdown, they score a touchdown, but you give your best player the opportunity to win the game right there, and you stomp on a fucking other team's throat whenever you get a chance.
He did it against the Chiefs. He's
Well,
right.
The reason I disagree with it,
Hang on, can I?
yeah, go.
You're telling me that they don't have some sort of pulling center, guard action, direct snap to.
Ooh.
We've had a bit of a malfunction. Like a pulling guard action, a running back takes the chip on the D end, and then you've got 1-on-1 with Josh Allen and a corner or a safety to get 2 yards.
But they tried
I
that
am-
on 3rd down and got blown up.
Yeah, do it again. I don't give a
No,
fuck.
he ran up the middle.
Yeah.
All I'm saying is if it's anything less than 8 points, I agree. 8-point lead with 2.5 minutes to go, or whatever. I think it was only 4 minutes. to
No,
go.
it was 3:20 or something.
Yeah, so an 8-point lead, I take that any day of the week. Because you know why? You can't lose from there.
Yeah.
You can't
I know what you're
lose a game.
But what did I say to you?
you,
what
can,
happens-
you can win it now. I
You can
agree.
win it now, but what happens if the Ravens score, they get the ball back? You had Josh Allen on the 2, up 5, and now you're in overtime down 7.
I could also argue that if Mark Andrews caught that ball, if
Allen goes into fuck you mode.
there was still 1:30 left and they're getting a field
With 2 timeouts.
with 2 timeouts
Yeah.
and they're getting a field goal. I actually think
That's fair.
that for
That's
once
fair. I agree with
a
that.
coach sat there and he actually took a timeout to think about it.
Yeah.
Mm.
He sat there and went, he logically, instead of going all analytics, blah, 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 took the emotions out and went, let's take an 8-point lead.
I
and
think
let's
that's right.
make them execute, which in turn, the Ravens didn't. And it was awful. And I feel for Mark Andrews and it was sucked. But
It
they didn't.
definitely was the right play for them to kick the field goal.
I think so.
Because if
I'm a
but-
live by the sword, die by the sword
Absolutely.
guy,
I'm
and
with
you
you. I'm with you,
fucking
Scott.
win.
no, had on,
Whenever you win, get a chance to win, you win.
I agree with that. I do agree with that. But hat on the hat, Josh Allen, absolutely, I agree with that. That would have been a good call. But to kick a field goal, you don't take points off the board. You
That's
make
true.
Lamar Jackson go 75 yards.
Can't lose a game there. If you don't score, you lose.
Exactly right. If you make Lamar Jackson go, try and go
If you do
75
score, you win.
yards, and they did. They did. We went the 75 yards. We scored the touchdown.
Yeah.
We didn't execute on the 2-point. And I'm hearing a lot of people give the ball to Derrick Henry, give the ball to Derrick Henry.
Not
It
enough
was a
time.
great
You
play
had-
call.
it
It
was
was a great play call.
Yeah.
It was the perfect play call. We've been doing it all year. It's the first time we actually rolled out right to it.
The only
We've
thing I
been
don't
doing
like
it
about that
all
play call
year.
for the 2-point is when you have your quarterback roll out, you automatically take half the field away. Rashad Bateman got open, but there's too much traffic there for Lamar to see.
100%.
I don't like that.
But it's a case of if Mark Andrews gets held up there and doesn't release,
He runs.
Not Derrick Henry. Lamar Jackson runs into a corner.
Yeah, that's
That's
true.
what he does.
That's true.
It's a
It
foot race.
becomes a foot race. Yeah, because it was either you cover Mark Andrews or your middle linebacker foot races me to the corner.
Yeah,
They're your two options.
And it's a no-win.
Ain't nobody winning that foot race.
No. And look, my big thing on goal line is I don't know why when they get within 3 yards, they load up and bring in more offensive linemen and all that stuff. Why are you doing that? Especially when you've got with quarterbacks that are now the best athletes we've ever seen are playing quarterback. The NFL's never been more athletically gifted at the quarterback position. Why aren't you spreading it out and making that front open gaps? Making them play disciplined and not rush a lane, because if someone shoots off the ball and rushes, Lamar just goes, yep, I'll take the 2 yards, I'll score. I don't know why teams do it. It baffles me. I'm no NFL coach, but every time I watch it, I'm like, why are you doing
Especially
this?
with Lamar, especially with Josh Allen or someone like
Makes
that.
no sense.
Spread it open and just QB run.
And then you say to Lamar, if it's not open, run through a guy.
Yeah.
Outrun someone.
Or just make one guy miss.
And
Like Lamar
will.
could do in his fucking
in
sleep.
that game, our jumbo package had been working all day.
Yeah.
That's why we went, okay, we're going to stick to what we know.
Clearly, it was a good play call because there was no one within fucking 15 feet of Andrews. It was a great play call.
The issue is, the saying is, face mask go higher or bolter lower. He put it on his numbers.
Oh, it was a great
Yeah,
throw.
yeah.
No,
it was
it's the bad throw. If he puts that low, he catches it. He puts that high, he catches it. He put it too perfectly, too hard on him.
I find it hard. And I think if you ask Mark Andrews, he's sitting there going,
He catches that 99 times out of
no,
100.
100%. He has to catch
What did
it.
Mark Andrews had 80-odd receptions this year. He dropped 4 catches for the entire season.
I think he dropped 3. That was the 4th.
That was right. That was the 4th catch. Like it was one of the safest things you can do. And that's, you know what? And people who are getting on, I've seen the social media stuff, people getting on telling him to kill himself and stuff like that.
Oh, fuck off.
Oh, it's fucking outrageous.
That's disgusting.
Grow up.
This is a dude that played during fucking COVID when he got told he shouldn't be playing during COVID.
Yeah.
He was meant to actually sit out because his
People really doing that?
Any overweight,
That's properly disgusting.
any overweight, armchair quarterback that thinks they have the right to even talk to anyone, let alone a player that the whole weight of the world, he knows. He knows. What he says in the media is going to be completely different than what's said behind.
He did not talk to any media. Mark Andrews.
He's probably not going to talk.
He's like, I don't want to. He's shattered, man.
Yeah.
He would die. And I said,
I didn't realize that players were allowed to do that. That they could just refuse to talk to the media. I thought that everyone had to be available.
What he's going to? I think the franchise is going to pay the $10,000 fine if he doesn't talk.
You can't force him to.
Okay.
But you can't force anyone to say what to make him talk. If he just goes, no, I'm not talking.
I think quarterbacks have to.
Yeah, so I don't get fined.
Well, he didn't want. He's just like, no, I don't want to. I don't want to interview. I don't have to. Like, and I said, if the NFL, I don't know if they did. If they fined him for that, they're pieces of shit.
Yeah, that's fair.
And then if they did, the Ravens would be like, we got to do it.
Yeah.
I would say that $1 billion franchise would be like,
whoever's messaging that to players, go get a fucking life. Get a grip. You're the lowest scum.
And then that's going to stay with him forever.
Yes, of course.
He will forever think about that.
Well,
that will never
in the
leave
podcast that never happened, we all sat on this couch saying that whoever wins this game has the best opportunity to beat the Chiefs team this year.
Yep, agreed.
And then who knows? You're in the big dance. Who knows?
100%. I said this game was really exactly what we all wanted. Both quarterbacks for the majority of the game played at a really high level. Both teams for the majority of the game. There was phases where the offense got going for both teams. There were phases where the defense dominated for both teams. Yep. It was up and down. It was back and forth.
It was a great chess match. If you like the
really
technical
just was
side of it.
turnovers in the end.
Yeah, it is. And that's what it's I'm going to call the podcast turnovers because it is really what cost all teams this week. I just said every team
that pick Lamar threw, he literally threw it to the guy. That was the fucking worst interception I've ever seen.
I think Bateman actually ran the wrong route.
He didn't cut hard enough underneath the safety.
Yeah, he ran the wrong route. Either way,
it was just like point.
Yeah,
it'll go on the stat sheet as an interception. And DeMar Hamlin.
Fumble.
DeMar Hamlin getting an interception.
The
old Grim Reaper back from the
DeMar Hamlin didn't get
he got the fumble recovery.
No, it was Rapp. Sorry, it was
Rapp. And then Rapp got hurt. Yeah.
Hamlin at the front. And then Von Miller turning back the clock, scooping up that
fumble. Yeah.
And then that getting knocked. How did he keep that when the punch out?
And fumbles, I actually don't.
He should have just gone down. He's been doing it all year where he makes something out of nothing. He should have just gone down. He put the ball on the ground to keep himself up.
Yeah.
and the ball
and then just flipped out.
The ball just slipped out of his
Icy
hand.
conditions, man. It just changes the margins ever so slightly.
100%.
agree.
The conditions is something you have to be wary of all the time. Like,
Yeah.
look at the Philly game. Like, that's half the reason, or more than half the reason the Rams lost, because they just couldn't handle the conditions.
100%.
Just kept coughing the ball up, dropping passes. They
And
just
then
couldn't do it.
and then there's Saquon, who looks like the weather does not affect him in any way. Like safeties are coming down,
That's what
slipping
happens.
over.
That's what happens when you're the best running back in the league, bro.
100% best athlete in the league. I would go ahead and
That's not. It's not a bad call.
No, that isn't, man. But it said this was the game we all hoped for.
Yep.
And it was there early. We saw the first drive, Ravens scored, Bill scored, and I think I messaged the group going, yeah, we got one, boys. This is it. This is the game we all hope. And it was always going to suck for whoever lost.
Yep.
It was always going to be a shitty situation. And I'm actually like, I think the media for the most part actually haven't turned on Lamar, which I actually respect about them for once, because
he
it's
didn't
easy
shit the
to just
bed.
be- yeah, he didn't.
He didn't
played,
shit the bed.
He played well.
Yeah. If he had have thrown the 2 picks and 150 yards with the fumble and then didn't do anything with that last drive, I'm sure there would be a backlash.
Yeah.
But he put that team in every situation to win that game.
Yeah, and it just didn't work.
Yeah.
It happens. And how are you about it, Brocky?
I'm over it.
You're over it. You actually took it pretty well. I was surprised. You were gutted, but
I might have scared the shit out of the customer when she came around the corner when Lamar Jackson scored. When we scored that touchdown, I gave her a big fuck yeah as the customer came around the corner, and I looked at her. So sorry.
Just as a fun little game.
Sorry.
As a fun little game.
Yeah.
Just because we've got 5 minutes here.
Yeah.
Who wins if it goes to overtime?
whoever gets the ball first.
Yeah, I think so too.
I think
Whoever- 'cause they're gonna
Bills
drive the
only
field and
because
score a
it's at Bills. That's the only.
I personally don't believe it went to overtime. If Mark Andrews catches that, I
Yeah.
firmly believe in my gut and in my head that Josh Allen gets a field goal.
Like, yeah, because he's got the 2 timeouts. Yeah.
I don't think they would have got that far. It would have been a big kick.
They had a minute and a half and 2 timeouts.
I don't think that.
I think he gets there.
I think they would have kicked a 30-yard field
They
goal.
put the Q in the rack. They run the ball down. They had 2 8-minute drives to finish the game.
Again, unfortunately,
We'll never know.
We'll never know. I thought we might have got robbed. We might have got robbed of overtime, playoff overtime, which is the best overtime in the world.
Quickly looking forward.
Yeah.
The Bills are a much better chance to beat the Chiefs than the Ravens are anyway.
Oh, I think both of them were as good. I actually think the Bills are a more talented. I think the Ravens showed us that they are actually a more talented team because it took them turning the ball over 3 times to lose that game. If they don't turn the ball over 3 times, they probably win it by 10 points.
Agreed.
And that's what I mean. I think if they just cannot have those turnovers, which again, if they don't have those turnovers,
That's what I'm saying. The Bills won't do that though. Next week.
I don't think
they
Bills
won't
will.
do that. They're
I
not
don't
going
think
to
the
beat
Bills will.
themselves. The Chiefs are going to have to win.
I think
and that's been the Ravens' Achilles heel all year. The games they've lost, they've kind of
missed field goals.
They have lost them.
themselves.
Yeah.
Penalties.
We haven't been beaten. We haven't been beaten. We've lost the game ourselves.
Yes, I agree.
The Bills
Almost. I would
didn't beat
say
the Ravens. Ravens beat the Ravens.
Yeah, 100%.
And I'll stand absolutely.
I
on
agree
that.
with you. I think the Ravens were more talented, and it is so hard to win a Super Bowl. It is so fucking hard. The Lions and the Ravens have taught us this week that and again, I'm not. This is me not being an asshole. Then on the flip side, the Eagles, like, things have gone their way, and that's not their fault. That's the other team's fault.
Every Super Bowl winner, you look back and there's one defining moment that gets them there.
Yeah, 100%. And I think it's just the key of it
The
all.
Baltimore Ravens 12 years ago when the ball fucking travels an extra 5 yards because it's in Denver.
Yeah, over the top of
yeah.
the corner, who's sitting there thinking, I'm going to pick this off.
The
and
only
just kept
stadium
going.
that happens is in Denver.
And the only guy that could probably make it go that far was Flacco at that point in his career, because he had the cannon that was like, every time he threw it, you were like, whoa.
Yeah, the proper.
It's like sometimes things go your way. Like it's football. It's hard to win. It's not like NBA and those sports where you have a 7-game series. So if you have a bad day, it's like, all right, we can right the wrong now.
Yeah.
This 7 seed just won the first game. That's all cool, guys. But we'll win the next 4.
Yeah,
We're
60
better.
minutes, fucking do or die.
Any given Sunday, that sort of
It's
shit.
possibly the hardest thing to win is a Super Bowl because you have to be
By
perfect.
far.
If you're not a number 1 seed, you have to be perfect
4
for
games.
4 games.
The margins are just so slim.
Yeah, 100%. And like I said, this was a great week of football. Every game was a good football game.
Yep.
You're right about everyone rooting for the Bills now to fuck the Chiefs over. You're right about that.
What are you talking about? I changed the color to the Bills blue.
Yeah. Bills
That
blue
is
on
legit the
ticker.
Bills blue color
I love
code.
it. I love it.
Like we're all on the Bills because don't get me wrong. If the Chiefs win and they win legitimately without bullshit, and they can
good
go
on
for
them.
a 3-peat,
Yeah, that's cool.
I'm not against that.
I would love to see it.
It won't matter because the playoff run's already tarnished, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's fair.
The season's already tarnished, in my opinion.
It's fair too. Like
There's too much tape. There's too much tape.
Yeah.
Now I want Chiefs to beat the Eagles.
Already, they
I
already,
On a
what-
blown
they already did. They
PI.
already did 2 years ago.
I
On a
just want the
blown
after
PI.
show. I just want the after show.
I don't. If we have a Chiefs Eagles Super Bowl and something bullshit happens again,
What do you mean, son? It will.
I don't want to be in the room when that happens. I don't want to be in here with you.
Even my mate who I was talking ball with today on the drive home.
You have other mates to talk ball with?
Yeah, I know, it's crazy. I actually have other friends.
Cheater. Cheater.
And he said to me,
How
he goes,
dare you?
half of you's got to be like, wrapped because you got an easier path to the Super Bowl, like we spoke about. And then he's like, the other half, because you're going to go there and you're going to get fucked by the refs anyway. So, like, what's the point?
Yeah, and that's the thing. It shouldn't be what's on everyone's mind, but it is.
But it's at the forefront of everyone's mind.
It's the one thing. It's like, hey, the Bills will win if they don't get fucked by
They
the
don't
refs.
get fucked.
And that's honestly what everyone's. And if you're not thinking it, you're a Chiefs fan.
Yeah.
That's the only people that aren't.
Honestly,
thinking it.
fucking spot on. Bang.
Thank you, big dog. That was a cute hand. I'm hard.
Hey, Scotty,
I'm hard.
let's go Swifties.
Yes. Go get more Tay for everyone's better.
More
Yuck,
Tay
bro.
for everyone. Is
Hey, what about
absolutely
Tay
better.
with Caitlin Clark?
Shout out to Caden Clark.
Hey,
Yeah,
also,
Caitlin
but
Clark.
before we get out of here, shout out to our boy Benny Johnson, head coach of the Chicago Bears.
Yep.
Well done.
Yeah,
Hey,
that was good.
got a good choice by him.
Yep.
I think that's a good. He obviously.
Hey, we
feels
know
he can
that
work with,
Williams is legit.
Within
Yeah.
division too.
It is the ballsiest move a coach can go.
Why is it
taking
ballsy?
going in your division
Yes.
to leave a team
As a first-time head coach.
to leave a great team in the division to go as a first-time head coach in your division?
It was
It's
definitely
ballsy.
the best job available.
I agree, but it's ballsy.
Or Jacksonville.
It's balls. I don't know. In fairness, Jacksonville aren't that different to Chicago.
No.
They've got a quarterback. They've got receivers.
Yeah.
Like Brian Thomas had
Is legit. They've got a good defense
under the
too.
radar rookie year.
I would
it shouldn't
say
be.
the Bears receivers makes it a better job than.
Well, they've only
the
got
Jags
more.
receiver.
Oh, they got a Doomsday. Yeah.
James A.
Yeah, they got some good players.
I just got to fix that O-line. They'll be fine.
100%. We'll do live show Sunday night. We'll do a live show. All the
Ooh.
games are Monday.
Nice.
We'll do Australia Day Sunday night live show.
Make sure we eat green and gold.
Oh, should we all green and gold it up for Australia? I'll green.
I
Oh,
know.
I have Australia Day cups. I've had them for 4 years.
Oh,
Been waiting for the moment.
that's so cute. I love it.
Shout out to Dave from Sporting Globe, guys. If you haven't got a ticket, if you're in Melbourne and you want to go to a Super Bowl party, Sporting Globe Chernside Park.
Are there still
Can't
tickets
go wrong.
available, or
Yeah,
have
you
they
got
missed out?
100, you got 150 more tickets. I think open.
Oh,
up.
shit.
Yeah, a
Okay.
couple more.
They've opened up a new section now because they hit it because they just keep selling out, which
Yeah, fair.
doesn't surprise me.
Doesn't
It's such a
surprise me.
good venue.
They put on a good day. They really do.
If
It's
you
a great
can't
day.
get to Chernside Park, make sure you get to one of the Sporting Globes. There's about 20 of them nationwide.
Get after
Fantastic venue. They'll have the cheerleaders. They'll have the cause lights ready to go. Might just be cause. I think it's cause lights.
I'm a real hard solo Super Bowl guy now.
hard
Man,
ass.
I'm a change man.
Change, man.
Sunday night live show. Shout out everyone. Peace out. Hey, Scotty, thank you. Playoff
No
Scotty.
worries.
He'll be here
Playoff
Sunday
Scotty.
night and back for the Super Bowl
Yeah, he
preview
will.
next week. Sunday.
The week
you-
after.
Should be right.
I don't think we've told you this. You're
No.
playoff Scotty now.
All right. I'll
Playoff
take
Scotty.
it.
You're in.
Thank
We've
you for
just-
having me, boys.
We've just broken your leg into this.
Peace
Peace out, everyone.
Love you.